That's it. That was the ticket. So we are live.
We're live on YouTube for nobody. It's fantastic. Thank you to the
Woo!
nobody watching this. We only have 50 soon. It'll be 59.
59,
and then
dude.
the world. The world. All right. You guys ready to start this podcast? Here we go. Welcome to level 69, dudes, of the Sandbox Gamers podcast, a podcast where three vidiots meet weekly to talk about life, love, and the pursuit of vidja. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your co-host with the most, WonderRob, coming at you live. Well, semi-live, that is, from Southern California. Well, I forget, we're on YouTube live. We're actually live, partially live. From Southern California, and on the line with me are two of my best Arizona friends in the Metaverse. The Bill S. Preston Esquire of our podcast, Vactor.
Be excellent to each other.
And the Last Ronin of our pod, the always angry JeffW the second.
How do these relate? I don't know how these relate.
Oh, you'll see. You'll see. It's called show notes.
Okay.
You got to read them, Jeff. Read
them. And I am the Ted Theodore Logan of the pod. I can't think of any quotes from him, but Iron Maiden.
69, dude.
So thanks for coming back. We are live on YouTube. Thank you for anybody who happens to join, either as we're recording or 10 days later, 10 weeks later. It's all good. We appreciate you. So thank you. We've been on a little bit of a hiatus. We took a little break because my two life changes. Trent was on vacation. Where'd you go, Trent?
I went to Texas to see my parents, and my son got to see his grandparents. So we got to spend some time in the Texas sun.
How did your little boy do on that airplane?
So I wasn't there for the ride back because I had to come home early, but on the ride there, he was really good for 15 minutes. And then after that 15-minute mark hit, I'm bouncing off the walls again. Whoa! He was jumping up and down. He's running down the aisleways, trying to jump out the airlock. It was chaos.
Kicking seats. Oh my gosh.
He was going down under the, the part where you put your bags under the seat and looking at everybody's stuff.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. He's touching people's toes. Yeah.
But everybody on the plane thought it was cute. They were all into it, I bet. I got to tell you, when what was it? 3 weeks ago, boy, Link, he was mostly good throughout the flight, but the only part that was halfway through the flight when he'd inevitably, I got to go potty. And then I'd have to walk him all the way down that aisle to that little tiny airplane bathroom. And then imagine, how tiny a bathroom is for a full-size adult. Going in there with a little 4-year-old and then trying to help hold him on the toilet because he's 4 and he gets sucked down the air shaft when you flush. And so holding him up by his armpits so he can take a number Duke on the dang toilet. And then trying to wipe his butt. Oh man, it was the worst.
Well, see, what you have to do, Rob, is you have to turn it into like, hey, Link, we're gonna, you're gonna see this. There's a different type of flush going on here in the airplane. You're not gonna see this flush outside of the airplane. You know what I mean?
I told him, I said, your poop goes down out through the airplane and lands on somebody. He thought that was pretty funny. He thought that was pretty good. So Vactor also started a new job. So congratulations on that, Vactor, with a lot more pay. Believe it or not, podcasting is not Vactor's primary job.
What?
Despite how many podcasts he has.
Despite what it looks like here.
Yeah.
So we're recording on a Saturday morning, which is unusual. We usually record Wednesday evenings, but since Vactor's on a new schedule this week, you can tell that we all still have our morning voices. And I believe, looking at the live feed, that I still look like I just woke up. I have a few bags under my eyes. So we'll see. We'll see if those bags stay here for the whole podcast. All right. And Jeff also had some big life-changing events. Jeff moved.
I did.
Are you all moved in, Jeff?
Mostly. Everything left at the other place is just needs to be tossed in like a garbage bag and brought over here and then sifted through. Just tiny things. But I mostly moved in. God, it's been a nightmare though. My feet hurt from driving this week. Like I have little cramps in the top of my feet right now.
Oh wow.
And it is I was setting up this ghetto setup because I don't have anything, everything's kind of just like in disarray at the moment. And I'm not gonna I need time to set everything up because if I'm gonna, set up all the gaming stuff, I'm gonna cable manage it, the first time. That way, hopefully I don't have to do it ever again, or at least for a long time. And then I was setting this up and I was on the ground on this hardwood floor and my feetsies were hurting, fellas, on the top of my feet.
Jeff to come over and do my cable management because
if
there's one thing I hate in life, it's grocery shopping. But if there's two things I hate in life, it's grocery shopping and cable management. As a matter of fact, right before I was setting up my lights, because I got new lights set up, and I was underneath my desk, and it's nothing but a spider web of cables. And I was like, I should probably do cable management at some point. But nah, I'm not going to do it.
You would have a heart attack if you saw my setup from the other side of the camera. Got monitors, the keyboards, the computer, the PlayStation, the lights, the video games.
Man.
There's
like wires everywhere, and at a certain point, I'm just like Vector. I'm like, well, there's not really much I can do about this.
Well,
so the
major key for your desk is you need to get the cages up underneath it,
and this thing.
That will help you a lot.
Oh,
the VR.
You got VR2 as another cable.
You got to get one of those. I got these little hangers on the wall where I put my controllers. You got to get one of those for yours.
Oh, yeah, he does.
We need Jeff's cable management tips every week. That's a bonus for the Sandbox.
Let's make it a little. Ooh, if we ever start a Patreon, that can be a little.
Look at pile of cables, and then step 2 is kill yourself. That's this week's
same episode every week. Jeff is the cable management expert. He's got it. Okay. All right. Well, we've got a limited amount of time this morning because we are recording on a Saturday morning, and Vactor's wife is going to a drag show this morning.
Making Rob
you
proud.
better work.
Early.
Yeah, it is. It's a drag brunch. It's all the rage these days, Jeff. Tell your wife to bring dollar bills. All right. JeffW, as you know, is always DTF. That stands for Down to Talk Fun. So it's time for gaming news that we missed while we were gone. I'm going to let Vactor take it away.
Oh, yeah. Depending on how you feel, some sad news or some not sad news. Charles Martinet. Is it Martinet or Martinet?
I always pronounced it Martinet, but I don't know if that's right.
Yeah.
I think he's some type of guy, but he is the iconic voice.
He is some sort of guy.
He's the iconic voice of Mario.
Are you calling him French?
I was trying to think, is he Italian? Is he French? But I said, no, he's a guy. So he has been the voice of Mario for 3 decades. I remember the time before Rob and I were probably in our elementary days. Jeff, do you remember a time before he was Mario's voice?
No. I don't have any recollection of anybody
I think
but him.
Rob and I grew up on Captain Lou Albano as Mario's voice, the live action Mario.
Hey, yo, I'm a Mario. Look at me, I'm a plumber, Let's go down in these pipes,
I'm walking here, move out of the fucking way.
After Super Mario 64 on Nintendo 64, he took over, but he actually started working at Nintendo in 1991. But his first major performance as Mario was Super Mario 64 in 1996. And the iconic "Let's go!" Woo-hoo! That has been the staple of people's childhood since then. But Nintendo announced that they are retiring his voice. It was kind of a weird rollout of this announcement because we know Mario. What is the new one? Unicorn? What's the new Mario game? That's
Oh,
coming
no,
out?
I was like, what are you talking about?
was
It's
like-
Super Mario Wonder.
Yeah, Wonder.
Mm.
The new Super Mario Wonder. He is not going to be voicing Mario. If you've seen the
it's
trailer
really,
for it,
okay. This isn't a
Yeah,
slow
that's gonna
rollout.
be-
This is immediate.
that's going to be the very first one. But what was weird about this rollout was they posted this thing on Twitter. They posted a statement and then a video message from Shigeru Miyamoto. And he goes, "Oh yeah, we're gonna post something later. We're gonna give you another video later. But just so you know, I'm not gonna be Mario anymore, guys." So he's got like a lifetime contract with Nintendo or something where they're gonna pay him still, but he's just not gonna be the voice of Mario. So it's kind of the end of a decade. But it's interesting because
That's a
with
sweet
Mario,
job.
yeah, there's a couple different characters like that. I think one of those characters that you're going to have a job for your life. I'm thinking of like Mickey Mouse, Kermit the Frog, Mario, like those type of voices where you're going to have a long, unless you do something, unless you're R. Kelly, unless you have some type of huge controversy, you're going to be
Charles
that.
Martinet pee on. Why? What's the real reason he's getting
Oh my
canned
God.
right now? Who did he
Ew.
pee on, and what age
Like,
were they?
Don't kink shame the voice of Mario.
That's
Jeff.
Blippy, Jeff. But he's been
Flo from Progressive Insurance, also a lifelong job for her. Yes.
Yes.
Fantastic.
October 20th is when Super Mario Brothers Wonder is coming out on the Switch. But like I said, they're going to call him the Mario ambassador from now on. But like Rob said, that is a sweet job to have. When you get that job where you have some iconic character that you know is going to give you work for the next 30 years of your life,
Yeah.
that's always a nice setup. So,
well, and I think clearly what we're about to get is going to be, I mean, I don't know who's doing it. I don't know if they're a significant
yeah, I don't know if they've
actor,
announced it. Have
but
you seen anything, Rob?
No.
yeah, but it's going to be essentially a one-to-one clone of his voice, probably. I would imagine somebody that just does what he does, essentially.
See, and if that's the case,
know.
then why not keep him until he dies? Why not milk him until he's dry?
Jesus Christ, the hand motions here. Well, I just think, I mean, I think it's kind of like singers. Like, have you ever heard some of these like old washed up singer? Like, maybe he just doesn't have it, but I don't know what. I mean, I guess I don't know his day-to-day life, obviously, but
the last time we heard him was earlier this year in that
In
Super Mario Brothers movie. He played the dad.
yeah, and it sounded like shit. I'm just kidding. I don't
What
know.
are you talking about?
I don't know.
The last line, supposedly, the last line he recorded is the line where he's the dad. So he says, "These are my boys. I'm proud of them. These are my boys." Tell me that's not going to make you cry, Jeff.
Yeah.
Cry at a
poetic.
movie, Jeff.
There
But,
wasn't any specific reason announced by
Yeah.
Nintendo. Not like, I'm getting too old for this. I'm getting too tired of this. Like, it's just
He-
all right.
he
We
might
got.
just
We're
be-
moving in a
yeah.
new direction.
Well, yeah. I guess maybe he hasn't said, but yeah. I mean, maybe he's just done with working. I don't know. I don't know how old he
But
is.
Maybe he doesn't want to do it
He's
anymore.
almost 70. He's almost 70. Maybe
Yeah,
he
he's
just
like
wants to.
67. Do
Yeah.
you think Nintendo wants to go because of the success of now Barbie just passed, like within the last 48 hours, Barbie has surpassed Super Mario as the #1 movie for this year. For 2023, it's made the most amount of money. But Super Mario for a long time was the leader. Do you think because of the success of that Mario movie, Nintendo's like, all right, we gotta go in this Chris Pratt direction. We gotta change so that people know.
No, I don't think so. I think Mario is he's on the same level as Mickey Mouse in the sense that if they drastically changed Mickey Mouse's voice, like, "Hey yo, I'm Mickey, and I'm here. Have you seen my sandwich? I'm trying to take Minnie out."
I like this Mickey.
Hey yo, have you seen my dog Pluto? He's missing his bone. We're on an adventure to try my dog's bone. I don't
This
think
Mickey sounds like he'd smash a beer bottle over your head.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie, I told you to stay off my front lawn. That's it. I'm getting the gun. Point being is, I don't think they would do that.
No.
I don't know where I was going with that, but I was having fun.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say. I mean, it would be interesting to see like be in on those meetings. It does make me wonder if that they could do that, because I mean, with Kiefer Sutherland Kojima's a big movie fan, so I understand why he did that. Like, he was looking for, probably a name to attach to that last Metal Gear Solid game. But he went with that. Like, they basically tossed out David Hayter, who had been known for, at that point, 2 decades as doing that voice. And and I don't know if that was, part of just wanting to change it up, wanting to be slightly different, or, kind of what was going on there. But I think, at the very minimum, I know, Konami and whoever, the big players in that were probably happy to have a guy like Kiefer Sutherland's face on the advertising and the marketing for that game,
Yeah, how long did that last?
Yeah. And in one game, and and he spoke about 5 minutes. So it's, to me, I wonder if they would maybe do it just for the, like, I mean, I don't see the logic behind it, but maybe they would just want something to just put in, like, advertising or marketing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know who's gonna replace it, but
Yeah. I want to
I
see
could see doing that.
what happens. I also want to see what happens when Rob gets Sony's PS5 remote play gaming handheld for just $200, where you're able to play PS5 games over your Wi-Fi, and it's got like a little tablet screen in the middle. Looks like a little iPad mini with the PlayStation controller on the sides. What do you think, Rob? When's yours arriving?
It's definitely the most unimaginative design. It's like they took this controller and just cut it in half, got some tape, and said, "Here you go, boom, boom, got yourself a controller, everybody." When does this come out? Did they put a release date on this yet?
No, they don't.
So
they just said sometime in 2023.
So I can't tell you when I'm going to get it because the release date's not out. But I will tell you, I will be getting it because it's me. And I just tend to buy things. And I'll say it again, I am a big fan of not being tied to my desk and playing video games. I don't keep my video game consoles like my PlayStation or my Nintendo Switch home, the dock, out in the living room or anything like that, because, my wife, video games, I got to keep an eye on the boy. But I like playing on the Switch. I like playing on my Steam Deck because I can just play when I'm not needed. And then if I am needed, I can turn it off and then I can go.
Rob, just say it. Just say it. You like to play when you poop. Come on.
Well, that pooping is exclusively TikToks right now.
Okay. No Marvel Snap.
No, oh my God, no. My bank account can't handle any more Marvel Snap, Jeff. I can't do that anymore. But I probably will be getting this. Now, this device is, as we all know, dedicated to streaming. So it's not something that works without a PS5. It's not something that you can use outside of the house. It's dedicated streaming. That's really it. And so I feel like the price is pretty reasonable for what it is. I mean, or what they're charging for just another PlayStation controller, $70 for a controller, and then just a little tiny, like, Nintendo Switch size box is a pretty reasonable price for what you're getting. So I probably will end up getting this. I don't know if I'll get it right at launch or if I'll ask Santa Claus for it, depending on when it comes out, but I probably will. But I'm a real big fan of not being tied to my desk and just being able to play around the house. And so that's a very appealing thought to me. So yes, I will be getting it. Yes.
I think Jeff is in the same boat as me. It's interesting technology, and I like whenever there's a high resolution screen and whenever the visual design of the item looks interesting, but I don't think I will be using it that much. And also, this is the strangest name of any handheld I've ever seen. The PlayStation Portal Remote Play Handheld. That's the full title of it. So that's kind of like, what are we going to call this?
What is it called? The PlayStation Portal Remote Play Hand. The PPRP. The PPRPH.
Codename Project Q.
Rolls right off the tongue.
Q.
Yes.
this is also, and I think we've talked about this before. You've been able to do this with iPad and iPhone before, but this is kind of putting it all together in one, one piece, one device instead of having multiple. Like, okay, I can have my iPad up, but I'm going to have my controller separate, and then I have to set my iPad up. So this
Right.
makes it like a switch. So I think I want to see what Rob has to say when he gets his hands.
We'll
on
get
it.
you the review when I
Mm.
my grabby little
It looks
hands.
it looks cheap. That's all I'll say. It looks cheap. I think I would be surprised if Rob gets
It
this.
is
and it's
cheap.
Not,
It's
not creaky.
$200.
I was saying I'd be surprised if Rob gets it and it's not
My
creaky.
PlayStation was 600.
So we'll see what happens there. Now, Jeff earlier alluded to he didn't know how him being the last Ronin of our pod was connected. Well, guess what, Jeff? They have announced a
Bill
Last
and Ted.
Ronin
It was a Bill and Ted
video
thing.
game.
What are we talking about?
The official video game adaptation of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin, Jeff, which I know you're a huge fan of that comic book series. They are doing a video game, and they put out a little 40-second trailer. THQ Nordic put it out. What do you think, Rob? Because I know Jeff didn't watch this trailer.
Well, anybody watching the video feed can see that I may or may not have a little bit of a fascination with the teenage. I was unimpressed with the trailer. It was,
Ooh.
yeah. Ooh is right, Jeff. That is the correct, the correct response.
Mhm.
I wasn't really impressed. It wasn't really anything. It was they may as well have just officially said, "Hey, we're making this," without making the trailer, because the trailer is simply 4 candles that are out with 1 candle remaining, and you can hear like ninja fight sounds in the background and things like that, and then it says "The Last Ronin coming eventually, coming when it's done," or whenever it says. So the trailer was on, and as I want to be hyped for this game, but I'm not hype yet because I'm really just in a mindset of wait and see, because God of War is a great game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not poo-pooing God of War, but that doesn't feel like the type of game it should be if they're trying to emulate God of War. Like, to me, a Ninja Turtles game, when I picture it, like an Arkham-like, I guess is the best way to describe it. Like, think Gotham City, or not Gotham City, Arkham City, excuse me.
Yeah.
Think Arkham City, but
now we're talking,
because it takes place in a futuristic. You're tearing down these ninjas. You're trying to infiltrate the lair of the Shredder's daughter to avenge your brothers. To me, if an Arkham game is how they're describing it. Now, I'm not, can't impress me, or they can't change my mind when they actually show this, but it doesn't strike immediately what I feel like it should be. Maybe it's because I've always just wanted an Arkham style Ninja Turtles game. I always thought that would be really cool.
What about a Destroy All Humans type game? Because that's who's making this.
What about a
That's
Lemmings
the developer,
rules?
by the way.
Destroy All Humans? You're right. You know, I can't. When did Destroy All Humans come out? That was like Xbox 360.
They remastered it. So it's Black Forest Games under THQ Nordic. So it's funny because when I looked at the headlines too, everybody was talking about God of War, but it's going to be that smaller studio. That's whose label's on it, at least, or whose logos on the trailer. And they did the remasters of those games, so they just put those out in the last like couple of years. So I think, I'm hoping it is not necessarily in the style of God of War, but I think you could probably look at those recent Destroy All Humans games to get some kind of vibe of what they might be doing with that, if I had to bet.
Yeah, so I'm great. All these Ninja Turtle games that we've been playing recently are just, I can't remember the last time I played a 2D side scroller.
Yeah. And speaking of that, next week there's DLC for Shredder's Revenge. I think that's gonna be good. It's got Yusagi Yojimbo.
Oh, Yosaki Ojimbo.
Oh, Miyamoto. Oh.
That
I think we need to see more of the gameplay of this game before we can make our judgments. But like Rob said, it's announcement. Hey, it's coming. The Last Ronin video game, which they are jumping on this. Like they are, as soon as that comic came out and it was popular, there was spin-offs, like there's toys, there's video games. I'm surprised they hadn't said, all right, there's an animated movie of The Last Ronin coming, because they're trying to milk The Last Ronin for all it's worth, and they're doing it.
Right. So we'll see. We'll see what it looks like when it comes out.
Yeah.
But
Rob, before we have to get out of here, let's hear your Baldur's Gate review, because you've been Baldur deep in
I've
Baldur's
been
Gate.
That's why he got there.
He took it. I was about to say it, and he took it from me. Baldur's deep into Baldur's Gate 3. So Baldur's Gate 3 came out the week that we took our hiatus or something like that. So I've been playing it for a few weeks now. This is a Dungeons and Dragons simulator, essentially. Now, I've never played Dungeons and Dragons ever. I'm very aware of what Dungeons and Dragons is, the rule set, how to play it, but I just don't have friends that are into playing it, Jeff.
It's because it's garbage.
Wow.
No,
Got us like to make
Dungeons and
pretend.
Dragons is fun.
So this game, I'm having a very good time with this game, but let me tell you why I'm enjoying this game. So I bought it when it came out, and immediately you go into the character creation, and it's a big in-depth character creator. You know, you're picking all your classes, your races. You can even, Jeff, but get this, Jeff, you can even pick what type of penis you want your character to have, or what kind of vagina.
What are the options on that?
Penis A, penis B, penis C, penis D, and
So circumference and length and
vulva A, vulva B.
shaft type are
So-
not in there.
So when I was pulling up the penises, I was really looking to see if I could see what the differences were, Jeff. I was really studying those penises, and I really think it's just the pubes. They look the same, except for the pube style, which was interesting. But I was trying. I couldn't pick what kind of penis or vulva to have for my character. So my wife was
new?
My wife was downstairs, and I called her up and I said, "Babe, I need your help telling me what kind of penis or vagina my character could have." And she says, "What?" I said, "Just trust me." So she came upstairs, because I'm playing it on PC, of course, in the ultra wide. It's looking real good. And she that you can pick the penises. And I said, "But look at all these characters, or all these options for characters. Of course there would be penis options." And so she said, "You know what? Let me help you make your character." So we started from scratch and we made our character. She had a lot of me come up with the character. I said, you just make the character. I'll just accept what you pick." So we picked the character, then we picked his companion.
Rob's sweating bullets, hoping that penis looks like his is what what I'm inferring.
My
here.
penis isn't bright red, Jeff.
But it's not Super Saiyan.
But the pubes looked awfully similar. I'll give it that. Nice thick bush, nice thick pubes all over. But just I said just the straight ones, not the curly ones. Them's mine. But the point I'm getting to that is, because we only have 5 minutes left for the pod, I think I'm gonna have to really get in-depth thoughts on the game next week. So I'll just make my point here. Is that
just tell us about the wiener generator.
Yeah, so you get to pick your wiener generator, but my wife was super interested in the penises. It was weird. No, just kidding. I was the one who's
I'm just kidding.
So she helped me make a character, and then I turned and looked to her after we did the character creation, and I said, "You know, this is a very story influenced game. You know, it's not just action and rolling dice. It's like, you know, it's a role playing game. There's over 1,000 endings in this game based on the choices that you make." I said, "You want to play it with me?" And she said, "Yes." And so,
oh wow,
this whole time, anytime you've been seeing me play Baldur's Gate, it's actually been me and my wife.
Oh
shoot.
yeah.
Okay.
And
now we're talking.
And I will leave it at that. we'll talk more about it next week.
I
We have
can't
more
wait.
time.
This is how
Adventures and some interesting
Oh.
dynamics with somebody who's never played a video game versus somebody who plays video games all the time. And heads butting on what to do.
Perfect.
So I'll save that.
I want to hear this.
Leave it on the show notes. So we'll make Baldur's Gate 3 my main discussion for next week.
Yeah.
But we do have to cut the show short a little bit. I'm sorry, everybody. Sorry to our loyal listeners, Tommy. But again, Vactor's wife's got a drag show to get to, and so Vactor got to get everything ready for his wife.
Important
because she better work. Okay, that's the only quiz drag. I can't even say it. Drag queen phrase I know. So, did you guys know that Vactor has a YouTube channel? It's called the Vactorverse podcast. It's a TikTok. It's a YouTube Shorts. It's everything. It's every day. Well, Monday through Friday, anyway. Lowdown on comic book characters that you need to know about. Little shorts, little snippets of everything that you need. Plus, he has his weekly podcast where he's talking everything in comics. Tell him all about what's been going on lately, Vactor.
Oh yeah, this week in the Vactorverse, the new Ahsoka show, the new Star Wars show featuring Jeff's wife, has debuted. So week to week, we're going to be covering each episode. The first 2 episodes of Ahsoka aired this week, so that's what we were talking about, and also trying to get out those shorts, as Rob said. I'm trying to do Monday through Friday shorts.
Excellent. It's one of my favorite things to do. I look forward to a new poll every morning. Who would win in a fight? Friggin' Sponge Boy versus Poop Man. It's great. So it's always a heated discussion. So check that out. That's Vactorverse anywhere you get your content. Also, I want to point out that the Sandbox Gamers, obviously we're on YouTube for our one listener, but we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube Reels. We're doing the same thing. We're giving you the lowdown on video game characters and everything else. So just find us on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram or Facebook Reels or whatever you like to listen to, because we're all on there. So check it out. We'll be back next week, in theory. Fingers crossed, with a full-size episode, depending on everybody's schedule. Vactor starting a new job, Jeff's still moving, so next week is sort of up in the air, but after that, for sure, definitely we schedule. Find us on social media for pretty much every platform. You can follow the link tree in our show notes. It's linktree/Sandbox Gamers Pod. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review.